I have a quick fun sign to share with you today. I made these for my sister's birthday party as centerpieces. Welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. My brother-in-law had a birthday party at a lovely restaurant for my sister a few weeks ago and asked if I would make some centerpieces for the tables. We went with a mid-century modern aesthetic since she was born when it was the prominent style. So I created my design in Photoshop, cut the sign from MDF, and the stands from square dowels. I wanted the centerpieces to be double-sided, so this design was perfect for that. I base coated both sides of the sign with my go-to Tropic Bay blue, except for that cross-section there. That I'll paint watermelon, my other go-to. 2 coats on both sides. Now that that's done, I'll pop out my Folk Art floating medium and I'll add some shading. First, I prep my brush with the medium. I'm using Ceramcoat turquoise to shade. So I'll scoop some up on the corner of my brush to side load. And I'm going to stroke that brush on my plate to load the bristles with the paint. This blends the medium and the paint together. And the paint is the darkest at the corner of the brush, and it fades as it moves toward the middle of the brush, giving us a gradient of color. Now I'm going to start with the paint corner of my brush to the edge where I want my darkest shadow. So I'm going to stroke around the sign, reloading my brush as needed. And as you can see, I'm starting right here along that red edge. And then I'll just move around the top, and then we'll do the bottom half. I do reload frequently because I want my brush to keep moving and be fluid and slick. So reloading really helps with that process. You can tell your brush will start to get skippy, and you can just go over that area if it does get skippy and fill it in. That's what I love about floating medium. Now, you don't really need floating medium to do this. I just prefer it. You can actually do it with water in your brush. Just leave your brush a little wetter than normal. But you would load the same way, just side load the paint and, stroke it on your plate to work that paint across the brush, and that'll give you the same effect. But I feel you have more control when you use the floating medium. That's my preference. I use opaque red to shade the watermelon section. Same process for loading the brush. And as always, I'll list all of my colors and makes in the description box. But everything I use today is Ceramcoat. So I'm going to finish up the red section, and I will do the other side as well. Now that both sides have been shaded, I'll add my vinyl elements. I designed these in Silhouette Studio. I used the Lemonade and Horseshoes font for the word vintage. So I'll line it up and burnish it into place. I gotta tell you, it was a bit of a struggle, so I'm not really gonna bore you with the whole thing. I had to keep peeling back and then forcing down the next letter, as you can see here. And what I'm doing is I'm using the scrap paper from the back of the vinyl to keep the tape from lifting the letter that I had just laid down. Yeah, it was a process. And I made 6 of these double-sided, so it was an adventure. I don't know what it was about this white vinyl, but yeah, it was not cooperating. Anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, so my sister rescues and fosters animals, so I wanted to incorporate them into the design. The mid-century modern cats were a perfect fit, so I'll add the word perfectly, spelled like a cat's purr, just above vintage. This vinyl went on so easily compared to the other. I don't know, go figure. It's the same brand vinyl, so I don't get it. See? Like butter. Now I'll add the cats. I just love these. They are so retro sleek. I mean, they scream MCM, right? To bring in more red, and as a nod to this milestone birthday, I cut a quasar star from both red and white vinyl, and I added the number, which I'll pop in the center of the cats. How cute, right? I'm also going to add some starbursts and quasars around the cats, because, that's how I roll. And let's face it, those starbursts really scream mid-century. At least to me they do. These signs were the perfect height for a table centerpiece. They were about 12 inches tall by maybe 9 at the widest, and honestly, they were non-intrusive, but they were very visible, so they worked really well. These signs actually inspired my cocoa bar sign. After doing these, I thought, oh, these are so cute, I wanted to do something else, and that was the inspiration for the cocoa sign. Right, just a couple more stars, and we'll move on. Here we go. Using my liner brush and ceramic coat white, I'll trim out the perimeter of the sign, kind of like a highlight, but really just to give it more of a finished look. With a cosmetic sponge, I'll seal the sign with a top coat of Mod Podge to keep that vinyl in place. I cut the stand pieces to around 6 inches, painted them black, and added established 1963 in white vinyl. I also sealed them with Mod Podge. All that's left to do is glue them in place. So I'm using both wood glue and a wee dab of hot glue to fasten the stands. I gotta say, I really did enjoy making these. I love the creative process of it, and my sister loved it, so that's what counts. And that's it. Here's the final look. These were quick, easy, and the perfect centerpieces for the occasion. I also made my sister a badge that said, "I'm not old, I'm mid-century modern," which, I don't know, I didn't get on film, but it turned out really cute. So I hope you're all enjoying this holiday season, and I hope you enjoyed today's project. I'll be back with one more project, a New Year's DIY, to ring out the old and ring in the new. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.